Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I just made another video, but as I was logging out of my channel, I noticed that I had received a message. Somebody had asked me about my personal clearances and like insurance process for the surgery. So I thought just real quick before I leave, I'd go ahead and make this video for you. For me, there's two main hospitals in my area. I live near Springfield, Missouri, and we have Mercy and we have Cox. I typically go through Mercy for most other doctor's appointments and issues, but they have a very long waiting list for their bariatric programs, and they only accept a certain amount of state health insurance patients a year. They have a limit to how many they accept, so they have a very rigid process, and I really didn't want to deal with that. I really did not want it to be any harder than it already was. So I actually found a program called Blue Valley Surgical Associates. They're based out of Overland Park in Kansas, but they have little outposts in surrounding cities, and one of their outposts is in Springfield. So I had my initial consultation with them, and for me, my BMI was in the high 40s. I was severely obese according to the BMI chart. So I automatically qualified. That's all I needed for my state health insurance to say that, okay, I can have the surgery. Come to find out a little bit later on, after passing my clearances, which were EKG, cardiology, I had to do a psych evaluation, and I had to meet with a hematologist. After those clearances were done, and we were waiting on the anesthesiologist to get everything sorted out on his end so that we could schedule my surgery date, I found out that I had another insurance plan that was active under my maiden name. It was a little bit confusing, but it actually didn't throw much of a hiccup into it, because beforehand I had strictly been Missouri Health Net Medicaid, and they were only running it through that insurance. Once we found out that I had the other insurance, though, since it was not a state health insurance plan, it was considered my primary insurance, and it was United Healthcare. It was a plan through my father under my maiden name. And I called UHC, I called United Healthcare, and I asked them what my benefits were, because if I had bariatric benefits through UHC, the chances of it being much more drawn out and more difficult was very high, because they would only pay for so much, and then the rest of it would get transferred, and it would have been a little bit harder. But I found out that they only cover doctor's visits and ER visits. There was absolutely zero bariatric coverage. So it didn't throw any hiccups into the plan. I was just automatically denied by UHC, and then the entire bill was billed to Missouri Health Net Medicaid for me. And afterwards, forgive me, I lost my train of thought. Afterwards, it took about another day or two for the anesthesiologist to get everything cleared out on his end to approve me for the surgery. And then they called me and they scheduled my surgery date. And they called me a week before my surgery date, and which surprised me, because I was under the impression it was going to take a very long time. It had taken me from the first week of November to the end of January to get all my clearances done. So the first week of this month of February was all paperwork, getting everything sorted. And then I got the call, how soon do you want your surgery, they asked me. I said, okay, well, as soon as possible, thinking they would be booked out pretty far. But she was like, oh, how's next Thursday sound? And, oh, that sounds good. Caught me off guard, but I am extremely, extremely grateful that Blue Valley Surgical Associates was able to get my process done so quickly. Start of November to middle of February, 2.5 months, three and a half months. So less than 4 months from start to finish, including getting insurance approvals And I could not recommend these guys enough. I don't know if they have any other offices in different states, but their surgeons just have great reviews, and they have great certifications, and they have a great bedside manner at their outreach posts, and everybody has just been incredibly kind to me, and there's no judgment, and they have just gone above and beyond to make me feel comfortable about the process. And I never had to call them and hassle them, hey, did you get this, did you get this, did you get this? They were always keeping me informed, and I could not have picked a better surgeon's office. I don't think I could have, not for my area. But that is what the process was like for me to be approved by insurance, and those were the clearances that I had to have. Clearances vary for different people. I never had to have the CPAP or the oxygen or anything like that, because I didn't have high blood pressure, breathing problems, or other things that are typically associated with being overweight. So I only had a couple of comorbidities. I didn't have the really bad ones, but they're all bad. But it was a relatively simple process, and I think just picking the right surgeon and picking the right office is what is going to make or break it for you. Because I can tell you that if I had gone through Mercy and I had done their 6-month diet and all the other qualifications just to maybe be accepted, would have broke my heart. So I'm very grateful for my choice. And again, any more questions, feel free to leave them, but I probably won't make any more videos today. I think 2 is plenty. So thank you, and keep your eye out for more videos.